Hello everyone, my name is Amir Mohajeri, and the study that I'll be presenting is entitled Fluoride Exposure and Cholesterol Among US Children and Adolescents. At first, let me give you a little background. The effect of fluoride on human health has been a largely debatable topic. Only a few studies have addressed the impacts of fluoride on cholesterol. Some studies have demonstrated that excess intake of fluoride can cause increased serum lipid levels, ultimately leading to hypercholesterolemia in the experimental animals. However, some studies reported that the values obtained for serum biochemical parameters like cholesterol showed significant reduction with higher fluoride contents. In this study, a nationally representative sample of children in the United States was used to assess the association between fluoride exposure and total cholesterol. Our methods included data, inclusion criteria, variables, and statistical analysis. The study was conducted using data from the National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey, (NHANES), from 2015 to 2016. Our analysis included children and adolescents aged 6 to 15 years because these participants covered all fluoride exposure factors. This study adjusted for social demographic factors collected by the enhanced survey. They included age, gender, race, and body mass index. We utilized two continuous variables of plasma and water fluoride levels, and one binary variable of fluoride supplements as predictors. Outcome measure included total cholesterol that was divided into two categories, normal and abnormal. We calculated descriptive statistics for participants' demographic characteristics, fluoride exposure factors, and total cholesterol. Pearson correlation tests were applied to examine the relationships between water and plasma fluoride concentrations. We used independent t-tests to measure water fluoride differences between children who used fluoride supplements and those who did not. We also ran binary logistic regression models to determine the association between fluoride exposure and total cholesterol. Analyses were conducted with SPSS software, and the two-sided p-values lower than 0.05 were statistically significant. Here is the results of the study. A total of 1,537 participants met the study criteria with an average age of 10.35 years. Most of the population were children aged 6 to 11 years, male, non-Hispanic whites, and with normal weight. The average fluoride content in the water was 0.49 milligrams per liter, which was lower than the 0.7 milligrams per liter recommended by the U.S. Public Health Service. Both the water and plasma fluoride levels in children were higher than those in adolescents. Fluoride concentrations in plasma and water were found to be positively correlated. Water fluoride differed significantly between children who used fluoride tablets or drops and those who did not take any fluoride supplements. The mean total cholesterol was 154.75 milligrams per deciliter, and the majority of the participants had normal cholesterol levels. In children and adolescents, we observed the inverse patterns of regression results for fluoride levels in water. While high water fluoride level was associated with increased risk of high total cholesterol in children, it reduced the chance of having high total cholesterol in adolescents. The patterns of regression outcomes in children and adolescents for plasma fluoride concentrations were similar in terms of total cholesterol. High plasma fluoride concentration was linked to a lower odds of high total cholesterol. Fluoride supplements reduce the chance of having high total cholesterol in children, but increase the risk of having high total cholesterol in adolescents. After adjusting for confounding variables, the findings showed that high fluoride level in water and plasma were associated with a lower risk of high cholesterol compared to low fluoride level in water and plasma. In addition, fluoride supplements were associated with increased risk of high total cholesterol. As a discussion, I'd like to talk about fluoride at first. Fluoride acts like a double-edged sword in the body, meaning that fluoride in small amounts can be just as hazardous as fluoride in high amounts. In this study, we examined the effects of high and low levels of fluoride exposure on total cholesterol. We found that high levels of fluoride exposure in plasma and water were linked to a lower risk of high total cholesterol. These findings were consistent with previous studies that found cholesterol reduction might occur with higher fluoride contents. The results also confirmed the U.S. Public Health Service recommended fluoride concentrations in water of 0.7 milligrams per liter to reduce the risk of poor health outcomes. However, further studies are required to corroborate and substantiate the present findings. In addition, the results show that children who used fluoride tablets or drops had lower water fluoride concentrations than those who did not take any fluoride supplements, with an average of 0.3 milligram per liter. This finding was also consistent with the American Dental Association's recommendation that children with low fluoride levels in their drinking water can benefit greatly from fluoride supplements. Several limitations need to be considered in this study. First, this study was cross-sectional rather than longitudinal. Thus, causality could not be strongly inferred by the associations between fluoride exposure and total cholesterol. Second, receiving fluoride drops or tablets was a self-reported variable, and the use of questionnaires was likely subject to recall bias and misreporting. At the end, I'd like to thank Roseman University College of Dental Medicine, Clinical Outcomes Research and Education for support this study. Thank you.